So before I start the restoration on this Stevens favorite, I'm trying to understand why this 22 Winchester rimfire won't fit over the extractor. Because I want to shoot the gun before I take it apart and do the restoration. So I want to make sure that all the mechanical parts are done so that when I put it back together, I can actually shoot the gun. But before I start this restoration, I want to sort of talk to you about the results of the two polls that I set out. They surprised me a little bit. Wasn't quite what I was expecting everybody to say, and I'm actually very pleased with the results of those polls. Now, it's obviously I've got 5,500 subscribers, and I only have a small percentage of those 5,500 subscribers replied to the poll. But what I do believe is that you folks that responded to the poll, you are my community. You are the regulars. You are the ones that show up all the time and make comments. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that I'm getting a sense of the community, because frankly, when I look at the algorithm, the analytics, 90% of my viewers are not subscribers. I do want to go over those poll results, and I want to tell you a little bit about the studio. This is a Craftsman studio. This is what I built almost 30 years ago. I built this building. I filled it up with these machines with the idea, with the intent that it would be a craftsman's studio. So there are a lot of things that I do here that are not gun related. Frankly, I never built this with the intent of it being strictly a gunsmithing shop. It's not what I do. I do restorations, but I do other things, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And for all of you who came along for the guns and the gun restorations, thank you very much. I don't plan to disappoint you. But I want to talk a little bit about some of the projects that I've been involved with over the years. I built or helped build a table for a very famous, some would say infamous, person. And we spent months building that table. I was part of a greater team, and we each had our small part in the build of this table. So that was a project that I was involved with many years ago. So I love collaborations. I've got a collaboration going on right now with an artist friend of mine. I'm going to build these guitars I was telling you about, and Jay is a fabulous artist, and she's agreed to do a painting on top of one of my guitars. So I love to collaborate with people. I love this idea that there's so much creativity, there's so much energy that you can take from other people. So I love collaboration. Anyway, I also helped build a display for a major art museum out in Ohio. And that was a fabulous project as well. Getting to create these reproduction bedroom sets for the display. I'll show you a couple pictures of those here. And that was a fabulous project, and I got to do that through a collaboration as well. I worked down in Washington, D.C. on the White House grounds, helping restore 6 rooms in the Eisenhower Executive Office building. We called it the EEOB. It was right on the White House grounds. You know, I had to get clearance and all that kind of stuff to get in, but it was a fun project. So there's another one. I got to do a little bit of time in the 7th Regimental Armory building in 5th Avenue in New York. So I had a lot of opportunity to use my craft, my craftsmanship, and share it outwards. So that is really who I am, and it's what I enjoy to do. I've taken a lot of classes, a lot of craftsman's classes. For instance, I took a class in veneering. wanted to learn how to do veneering, and veneering is a skill set that is kind of critical to understanding how a lot of older furniture was built back in the day. And I've used that training to do inlays or to do veneering on top of my guitars, so that I'm not using just solid bodies with paint. I'm actually taking gorgeous woods and I'm putting those gorgeous woods on top of those guitars. And I'm using those skills that I learned in that veneering class in order to make that happen. I'm taking courses. I've taken classes with a master luthier, learning not only how to build guitars, but learning how to build guitars as a process beyond just what it takes to machine them. I know how to machine stuff. It's what I've spent all my life doing. But learning sort of the emotions and the craft itself, and understanding the dynamics of how an acoustic guitar functions and how it works. Always taking classes. So being a craftsman is really what I consider myself. Being a gunsmith or a restoration guy is what I do in the background. I've spent years studying restorations. I understand how it's done. I've not only built new stuff, but I've also done restorations on old pieces of furniture. Furniture is not where I like to be. Like I said, doing guns, guitars, and other small crafts is really where I prefer to be. So that helps get me down the path to talking about the polls. So I asked you in one of the polls which of 3 projects you'd most like to see me work on, and believe it or not, doing that maple art stock came out #1. Close behind it was the custom over and under rifle for my dad. That was my dad's project, but clearly the art stock won. I was surprised by that, and the Model 1917 Winchester Custom. It was gaining ground, but it was really a distant third. So that surprised me. I really, in my brain, because of the gun guys that are here, I really thought that custom would be the Model 1917 Custom would be one that ranked high, and it didn't. That surprised me. I also, because I knew I was going to spend time building these guitars, and I was going to end up coming up a little short for video content, I asked you guys, would you mind if I showed the builds of the guitars on the channel? And it was a very clear majority that most of you said that you would enjoy me posting videos on the guitar builds. There was the second highest one was, it's your channel and do what you want. And that I actually really appreciate that response from you guys, because it sort of gives me a little bit sense of power over the videos that I make, and that I feel from those 2 responses that yes, you'd like to watch the guitar builds and do what I want, that you guys, my core community, is going to stick around, and that I really appreciate, because frankly, without you guys, without that community, doing this is just me videoing the stuff that I do for no purpose other than to video it, you know. So I really appreciate you guys doing that. 25% of you said no, we'd rather not do the guitars because it would distract from the purpose that you all signed on to watch the channel for. For you guys that are here for the guns, I'm still going to do the guns. Guns will still be the predominant content for this channel. So please bear with that. Don't go away. Don't unsubscribe just because I put up a couple guitar videos. The majority of the content will be the gun content. I've already talked about. I really want to get this Stevens going. I actually love this little 22, and I want to get working on that. But again, I'm building these two guitars. These two guitars help pay the bills, guys. I mean, frankly, getting those built and sold, it helps support all of this. You know, I don't get a lot of money from AdSense on YouTube. I don't have enough subscribers, frankly. I do believe that YouTube does sort of hold back a lot of gun content. That's been said over and over on a lot of other channels. I do believe it. And I believe it for my own personal reason, because I started that Jeep channel, and that Jeep channel is growing at a faster rate than my gun channel is. So I have some empirical evidence that this might be true as well. But anyway, I get the money from AdSense. I get a little bit of money from my patrons, and if you're a patron out here looking at this, again, always thank you very much for that support. But those monies help pay the cost of production. It doesn't help pay the cost of the shop. It doesn't keep the lights on. It doesn't keep the heat flowing. In the wintertime, we were 17 below zero here a couple weeks ago. Furnace never stopped running. So those expenses, maintenance on the building, so I gotta earn money. I got insurance I have to pay for. So building those guitars, understand folks, that helps pay those bills. It helps put money in the account. So anyway, I am going to build those guitars. So you guys that are here for the gun content, I respect your thoughts. I respect your wanting to be here for what you subscribe to, but I have enough support, I think, from the polls that I am going to do those guitar build updates. I'm not sure how much of the building I'm going to produce videos for, but I'm going to do something. I've got my own WGR Guitars Facebook page. I have to market these guitars, so that you'll be seeing some of that. I have to video this, I have to photograph this, and it has to go up on that Facebook page so that when I'm done, I'm hoping the guitars are already sold by the time I'm done. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to tell you. That's the updates I wanted to give you. I am happy that you're here. I am happy that the channel is growing. I am happy that sometime in the next month or two I'm going to be at 6,000 subscribers. I'm super pleased with that. But that's the update. That is the results of the polls. That is what I'm thinking about doing. Please leave a comment if there are thoughts on things that you might like to see. Please don't be afraid to leave those in the comments. I get some, talking about comments, I get some of the, most of the time, I get some of the warmest and most informative comments from folks. If I've said something wrong or made some mistakes, the vast majority of you are very respectful when you offer your thoughts and corrections. I got a few people that come on board who are just real shitheads, but for the most part, you guys are all great. You're all wonderful, and I want to keep this community growing. I want to keep this idea that at nearly 70 years old, I can share things out with a greater community. I would love to get younger folks involved with this. I might have mentioned that I've got a couple younger guys that I've been mentoring over at the retail shop, and I would love to get a couple of those guys on camera and talk about some of the things that they've been learning when it comes to doing gun work and restoration work. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you listening to my talk for the last 10 minutes. And if you enjoyed this, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You know the deal. We need to grow this. We need to get more views in order to grow the channel and to get AdSense to pay me a little bit more. That is at least part of the goal. I mean, you guys get to watch this for free, and I'm happy to provide it, but like I said, I got to pay the bills at the end of the day. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring the bell so you get notified the next time I post a video. I really appreciate you guys being here. I will see you guys in the next video, both working on the Stevens and starting to build on those guitars. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next video.